On the 5-Minute Leadership Podcast, our goal is to help you solve your leadership shortage. Unlike some careers, vocational ministry requires a divine calling and developed character. Not perfect character, but character that is progressively being shaped and formed by Christ. There are many people who feel called to ministry, but they simply don't have the character or maturity to be ordained in ministry. There are many people with character and maturity, but they're not called to vocational ministry. Vocational ministry is for men and women who are called and have the character to fulfill that calling. Paul addressed the idea of calling and character in Ephesians 4:1-4. He said, "I, therefore, a prisoner for the Lord, urge you to walk in a manner worthy of the calling to which you have been called, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love, eager to maintain the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to one hope that belongs to your call." In these 4 verses, Paul mentions the idea of the call. It's a call to ministry leadership he's talking about in this text. He urges those with such a call to walk worthy of the calling. What he does next is interesting and kind of surprised me. When Paul says walk worthy of the calling, he then gives a list of character qualities that must be developed in order to walk worthy of the calling. Notice some of the words he uses when he describes the type of character that would correspond with walking worthy of a ministry calling. He mentions humility, gentleness, patience, love, unity, peace. Some people find it surprising that Paul didn't give a list of ministry gifts and speaking skills and oratory abilities and church facilities or academic degrees and strategic plans, the things that we think lead to success in ministry. But none of these are required in order to fulfill your calling. Paul lists what I call relational character traits, the type of character that causes us to treat each other right: humility, gentleness, patience, love. The list Paul gives for walking worthy of the calling reminds me of a similar exhortation to a church that was big on spiritual gifts, but not so much on relational character. 1 Corinthians 13. I know we're used to hearing this read at a wedding, but I think it's more important to read it each morning as we go about our callings. Here's what Paul said. "If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have faith so as to remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give away all I have, and if I deliver up my body to be burned, but have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things." When Jesus called the original disciples, he called them not only to follow him, but to follow him along with one another, to follow in community, to live out their life, to do their ministry, to do it in community, in relationship, not just with him, but with one another. In order for that to happen, they had to deny themselves and pick up their crosses and follow. Carrying a cross and denying self are exact opposite of what is valued by today's self-absorbed culture. The call to ministry leadership is cross-cultural, it's countercultural. It demands that we deny what many seek and that we seek what many run from. Godly character is formed when we deny self and carry a cross. Character development is stunted when we pamper self and run from the cross. If you want to walk worthy of your calling, whether that calling is vocational ministry, or if you feel called to academia, to finance, medicine, public service, or entertainment, the only way you will walk worthy is by developing relational character that will enable you to treat people with humility, gentleness, patience, love, unity, peace. So deny yourself, pick up your cross, and follow Jesus no matter what your vocation.